LATD Nation, man, it's your boy Jay back here with another quick video for y'all. We got RG from the 843.
Yes, sir. Live in the flesh, as always.
Yes,
and
sir.
today we're going to be talking about, a topic that's been kind of making the rounds as of late. The Super Bowl halftime performance headliner was announced the other day, and it is none other than the one and only
The GOAT.
Kendrick Lamar. And
Kendrick LaGoat.
that don't work as well when you say with LeBron, but yeah, no.
Oh, well.
But yeah, no. So this decision was, this announcement rather was met with, in my mind, I would say pretty mixed reviews, and we'll get to that in a second. But of course, touching back to the fact that Kendrick has had a very significant year this year, what with the beef and just the way that he absolutely destroyed, obliterated, and just embarrassed Drake. And had continued to do so since the release of the now infamous Not Like Us, which I played way too many times. I was listening to it on the way here, matter of fact.
Right, yeah, same here. I've been dancing to it and everything when nobody can see me. But
the thing is like, yeah, no, because I know we didn't really cover the second half of the beef. Like, we covered up till, I think, when Euphoria first dropped.
Yeah.
But we didn't really speak on it after the fact because we kind of wanted to see how it will play out. And, we planned to make a part 2 or whatever, but we didn't really get around to doing that. But let us know in the comments if, y'all will still be up for that as far as our analyzation, just breakdown of everything that came after. Because right after Euphoria dropped, I think it was that Friday, actually, you had 616 in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Family Matters, and then right after that was Meet the Grahams, which we got to talk about Meet the Grahams because that was, in my mind,
the nail in the coffin.
Single-handedly most insidious, most ruthless diss I've ever heard in my entire life.
Because before that was like, oh yeah, you just said Family Matters. I'm tripping. But it's the fact that he dropped it like literally like
within an hour of when Family Matters came out.
Exactly.
And took all his momentum away on purpose.
Right. It's just like scoring 2 touchdowns in 2 possessions. And man, I watch a lot of football. But yeah, y'all get what I'm saying. But Kendrick has had a wild year because Meet the Grahams was the nail in the coffin in that whole battle, and Not Like Us was just kind of
the victory lap.
Right, yeah, just digging up the grave and just stomping on it like multiple times.
And you just crip walking.
I was about to say the same thing, crip walking on it.
I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. When Not Like Us first dropped, it was funny because it was surreal. It was like, because after hearing Meet the Grahams, I was like, he dropped again.
Yeah.
And it was just like hearing it and everything. I was like, I can't believe what I'm hearing. Just not even just what he's saying. Just I couldn't believe what was going on in the world. Like, he was really saying what he was about Drake and getting the whole club, everybody in America dancing and calling Drake a PDF file,
Yeah.
And it was just such a surreal moment in hip hop, and it really set the summer off because this was in May. Yeah. This was the very, very beginning of the summer, and to say that song has had legs and has had a life beyond this beef is crazy.
Right.
Because that thing has just gone. I think it's like the fastest diss song to ever accumulate 500 million streams.
Right.
On Spotify, and just overall widely considered to be the song of the summer. As summer is winding down, that song doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. It seems like it's heard every single, because you can attest to this. In this summer, like, we heard this song, if we were hanging out, we heard this song multiple times a day in different places. Still do.
Exactly. And the thing is well, then you had Drake drop the Heart Part 6.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You see?
That's how you
and
know.
Then Drake trying to say, oh, we set that up, we planted all that just so you would fall for a he ha ha he. I'm like,
where are the receipts at?
I'm like, you like when it came to this
whole, me one receipt to show me that you actually playing this.
And then people talking about the only reason why, like, the only way they're gonna win is if somebody has receipt. I'm like, bro, they're lying the whole time, bro.
And my thing is to be real with you, that's always kind of been my thing with Meet the Grahams and parts of Not Like Us, because he says a lot of that stuff, but he doesn't give us any receipts to back up what he claims that Drake is doing.
Like, I didn't care about receipts. I just wanted to hear good disses, and good disses was what they were.
That's what we got.
So it's like I didn't care much about receipts or anything. And then Drake said some dumb crap about, if I did those things, I would be in jail by now. I'm like, you sound stupid. I'm like, that's
R. Kelly?
I ain't trying to be rude, but anyway.
Y'all for real, just recapping this a little bit. Let us know if you would want us to do a part 2 of our breakdown of the whole beat in its entirety, because I feel like there's a lot that we missed, and there's a lot that, because now that the dust is really settled,
right,
and it seems like the next chapter of this beef is maybe starting. If you pay attention to the messaging and what Kendrick said in the announcement video for the Super Bowl halftime show, how he said there are no round 2s, because what happened is Drake, I think in August, said something to the tune of he's getting ready for round 2 or whatever the case may be, which, unless you live under a rock, he's talking about the beef and everything. And Kendrick in this video announcing the halftime show, he said, there are no round 2s, right? There's only one opportunity to win the championship. So it seems like this beef is still kind of sort of playing out in real time to a degree. You had the pop-out show in June.
Yeah.
Legendary moment for hip-hop. Definitely. I don't care what anybody says.
Had West Coast legends up in there. He had Dre, Snoop.
Everybody.
He even had DeMar DeRozan.
And Russ.
And
Russ. I think
and
Harden
YG.
was there too.
Who?
Harden was there too.
Yeah, and YG and all of them, bro. Like, it was just a surreal moment just to see all that come together. And Bloods and Crips too, just uniting just to say, hey, Drake, I know you like them young. Who you want to come to yourself?
It's funny is the thing about, I honestly think that moment was more to do with him wanting to unite hip hop, particularly the West Coast.
Right.
But that for sure also was definitely the victory lap. Like, the final nail in the coffin for me was when Dre stood on stage and he just said, "Psst, I see dead people." I'm like, once that happened, I was like, oh, here you go. And he performed the song, 5 or 6 times?
Yeah, 5 or 6 times, yeah.
And the way that he would cut it off, like for the first 2 or 3 times he performed, he would cut off the song after the first verse, and he would just kind of let the A minor kind of just like linger, and he would kind of just let that marinate with the crowd, and it was just like, he was petty for that. We definitely have to get DJ back on here.
Yes, sir.
/ Chili Bear, aka Chili Bear. I mean, to kind of break down and sort of dissect the rest of this beef.
Right, because if you think we Kendrick fans, good Lord.
That's what I'm saying. That's Kendrick. That's Kendrick expert right there. But yeah, divulging from that brief sort of recap, I think that now, as far as him being announced as the headliner, it makes sense.
Right.
It definitely makes sense. Even if you take away everything that's happened with this year, Kendrick has already performed at the Super Bowl. Kendrick is showing himself to be one of the greatest performers of his generation.
Right.
One of the greatest artists of his generation. So it really only makes sense that he would be awarded this opportunity.
Most def.
But, this is where the controversy, I guess you could say, around this decision is coming into play.
The fact that it's in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And there's a certain New Orleans legendary rapper that's, not headlining it.
Yeah.
All right, you want to say who it is?
I mean, I think most people watching this video would already have an idea, especially because, wearing the shirt. But yeah, no,
right,
Lil Wayne has apparently been snubbed for the opportunity to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, which we'll get into that. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and let you kind of break down your thoughts and your opinions on this whole, this sort of outcry that people are having, in response to this situation. Right. So what do you think?
So I honestly think that the situation itself really isn't that serious in regards to, like, who should be headlining the Super Bowl, because where was all this energy over 10 years ago when Beyonce was headlining the Super Bowl when the Ravens and the 49ers were playing, back when with the pre-Colin Kaepernick kick-out days, but it's controversy for another day. But to me, I feel like people just saying all this because, you had mentioned this earlier too, because you had mentioned that it's just because it's Kendrick and all the success that he's getting, and it might be just mad Drake fans because you already know Drake was a part of Young Money. Nicki Minaj said her piece talking out her tail. Yeah, I think it was yesterday or whatever, saying that Jay-Z is like this evil cat. That's like, well, maybe not in that regard, but Jay-Z's just this evil cat that didn't want
all this
Wayne,
money and everything, and still not happy and still evil, whatever. Which that's kind of the pot calling kettle black, but
right, exactly, because the way she talks about everybody else, like you mentioned, man, it's just
the way that she's actively tried to go against other female rappers and try to take their spotlight, whether it was Cardi B, whether it was Megan Thee Stallion,
right?
But you got the audacity to say all this stuff on Twitter, so it's kind of like, what you talking about, Nicki?
Right.
You know, I love Nicki when we were kids, like younger, but now I look at Nicki, I'm like, man, you just need to go.
Is she like 40?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not to say that has anything to do with anything, but it's just like, Nicki, you gotta go somewhere, man.
Yeah, because it's
sad seeing a legend fall from grace like this over and over. Because I have experience in watching that, and you look at my favorite artist, but
yeah. Hopefully, my favorite artists don't, that being T-Pain. But anyway, like, I don't think it's as big as a deal as people are making it out to be, because it's like there's plenty of other artists that aren't from the cities. Like, for example, this past Super Bowl in Las Vegas, Usher was the headliner of that one. He brought out plenty of people, so it's not like...
Which that really wasn't all that good. And I say
like,
that
exactly.
as a long-time Usher fan, I didn't really care too much.
I didn't care much for it either. I didn't care much for the whole Super Bowl for obvious reasons. If you can see the chain from that far away, fly equals fly. Anyway, so, yeah, it's just... People just blowing this out of proportion, man. Like, Kendrick being the headliner of the show ain't the end of the world, bro. Because Lil Wayne, truth be told, he's not even that good of a... I don't think he's that good of a performer anyway, based off that WrestleMania, which I have yet to watch, but I've heard that he didn't do that good.
Yeah, because for me personally, and obviously I'm wearing the shirt, I'm a Wayne fan.
I'm a Lil Wayne fan too, don't get me wrong.
Wayne has been one of my favorite rappers since before Kendrick, since before Drake, since before... Really, all of my favorite rappers, other than Eminem, Wayne was one of my first favorite rappers. And for me personally, Wayne has the catalog. Because the thing is, I can see where people are like arguing on the catalog front. Because on paper, Wayne does have the kind of hits in the catalog that would make you think, oh yeah, no, he'd be perfect to do the Super Bowl. But the issue with that is that if you really look at Wayne now, Wayne really just as a performer doesn't really have it like that anymore. Like if you really like you going back to the WrestleMania, like I watched that video and Wayne's not looking, which granted people argue that, oh well, that's not necessarily a place where people really showcase the best performing abilities, but even then Wayne, he doesn't sound on key anymore.
Right.
He can barely remember his own lyrics, and this isn't even just WrestleMania. This is like the last couple of years of Wayne's career. He himself has admitted he can't really remember his own lyrics. There was a video going out when Wayne joined Drake for the For All the Dogs tour, and they had like the cue card and everything for it because Wayne can't remember his lyrics. When they performed right above it, they had all the lyrics on screen because he just can't remember.
Right.
And you can say, oh, well, that's because Wayne old and Wayne's been doing this for so long and Wayne has all of these songs and it's hard to remember, which you could argue.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is, to be honest.
But I also think there's something else at play when it comes to this that we can't really mention technically.
Right. Let's just say it affects your mental.
But yeah, I just feel like Wayne was never even really... Not to say Wayne hasn't performed well before, but Wayne, in my opinion, isn't the type of artist to where he's going to give you a show. Even at his best, he's not going to give you like a show and a story like Kendrick is.
Right.
Because if you look at Kendrick's latest tour, the Steppers tour, just everything that he did with it, like the stage design, the costume, the wardrobe, the way he was performing, his breath control, just the visuals, everything about it, he was telling a story. He had Helen Mirren narrate and everything. Like, he was really giving you a real performance in a show which is something that I feel like a lot of rappers nowadays lack in general. And this is an issue that's been talked about at length and really was started with the whole Lil Baby not being able to sell out his concert, tour, across America. People are saying that, well, part of the reason for that is because a lot of these rappers don't know how to perform like that. Right. And to be real with you, if you look at a lot of these rappers' performances, most of what they're doing is they're just standing on stage and they're, kind of rapping, but they're also letting the crowd sort of rap for them while they're just playing the music in the back. Like, it's not as involved
like Nardo Wicker from the 21 Savage concert we went to see earlier this year.
Exactly. And it's just when you get somebody like Kendrick, you know that Kendrick is going to put a real performance behind what he's doing. He's not going to just stand there and just rap a couple of songs and then just say, I love y'all, and that's it. Like, Kendrick is going to go all out. Like, the thing about Kendrick that makes this whole thing interesting and, has me hyped is because Kendrick is such a wild card in just how creative he is and just what he brings to the table that you just don't know what you're going to get with this performance. Like, it's a very unpredictable sort of, you don't know what he's going to do. You got people joking, oh, he's going to perform not like us 10 times. Do y'all forget that this is one of the biggest artists in the world and has been for 12 years?
Exactly.
Y'all forget that he has love and loyalty,
all of his
and
album,
humble
and all of
DNA.
You're right. And all of his albums that went platinum.
All the Stars, huge song. Pray for Me, huge. Goosebumps with Trav.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be like, I hope he brings a lot of people out though.
I think he will, knowing how big,
including Lil Wayne, because the thing is, I saw Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco's from the Nightcap, I think that's what it's called, from their podcast, and they mentioned, or Shannon Sharp mentioned that he wants to see Lil Wayne in some capacity, and I kind of do too. I'm not going to sit here and rule it out like it can't happen, but I just don't. Like I said, I just don't think it's as big as a deal him headlining it, not headlining it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see Wayne be incorporated for sure, because at the end of the day, Wayne is a legend and he does deserve it. But I just don't think that he's at a point where he can really give a real quality headliner type of show and performance. So, yeah, I just think that the outrage is ridiculous. People are mostly, I think, Drake fans trying to take away from Kendrick's moment.
Right.
And it's just kind of like, it's a controversy out of nothing, because when has there ever been a point where the Super Bowl halftime show has been dictated on who's from that artist, who which artist is from that region that is going to be hosted? Like, I never heard people say this when it came to Florida or anything like that. But now all of a sudden it's a problem. And like you said, if this was the case, they should have been gunning for Wayne to perform at the halftime show 10, 11 years ago. That's probably,
and that would have been the best time for him to do it.
Because Wayne was still in good health, and Wayne was still physically where he could have given it his all.
Right, because when I look at Lil Wayne now,
as opposed to 10 years ago.
Right, like he looks kind of sick. Not even trying to be jokey or funny. I'm just being for real. He don't look that good. Like, I hope, like, legit concerned. Like, I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
because it's just like he don't look like he taking care of himself. He looked tired. He looked fatigued. Like, he always out there had this voice that he talk with. But still,
yeah. Because if you really listen to just how Wayne talk and just Wayne just on wax, like just rapping, his voice has changed completely from like back in the day. Which, not to say that that's
a bad thing.
Because thing is that, you rap or, you sing over time as you get older and you're blessed enough to continue to be successful in it. Right. Your voice is going to change at some point. Like, people's voice is not going to stay the same forever.
But his voice changed dramatically.
Yeah, from when you were in your 20s to like you're in your 30s, 40s. Yeah, your voice is probably going to change a little bit. But if you listen to Jay-Z in the 90s and Jay-Z now, he sounds pretty close to the same. Same with Nas.
Exactly.
So,
but Lil Wayne, like, he went from having like this high pitched energy type voice to now just kind of like a low, kind of raspy.
Wayne, I feel like
I love Boy. Like
Wayne's voice was always kind of raspy though. I was
I get that, but the only reason, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But the only reason why I say that, because like I said, if you listen to like My Homie Still or to 6 foot, 7 foot. He sounds like he has a lot more energy. He has a lot more to say. Like it sounds more lively.
Yeah.
Than it does now. His sounds kind of like he sounds kind of raspy and kind of like
he sound. I don't want to say raspier.
Yeah.
But he sounds different. Like I don't know
You're
how
right.
to say
Exactly.
Like, but anybody who's a Wayne fan knows what I'm talking about. And 6 foot, 7 foot, to be fair, that was more in the era where he started to use a lot of auto tune too. So his voice kind of sounded a little bit different, like pitched up a little bit. But I'm talking about like 07. I'm talking about like 07 and back Wayne. I'm talking about like Wayne around the Drought 3 Wayne. Like his voice sounded way different back then. In my opinion, it sounded way better. But you know, we're talking about almost 20 years on from that point, and his voice has completely changed because not necessarily just natural causes, but also just, you know, the lifestyle and, you know, the things he indulges in. He's just not what he used to be. So
exactly.
And with that being said, what really makes people think that he can give a great headline performance? My thing is that I want to see Wayne be involved. But if Wayne was to be the headliner, and if it was to be anything like WrestleMania, I just don't want to see Wayne be embarrassed or clown or anything like that.
Because these are the same people rooting for him, gonna be the same people clowning him.
Exactly. And I just don't want to see that because Wayne, one of my favorite artists. I love Wayne. Especially Wayne in the 2000s. Like, Wayne was like one of the coolest rappers ever, but it's like he's just not what he used to be. He's just he's in the shape that he would need to be in order to give it his all. So, like, I just don't want to see Wayne get dragged through the mud and these same folks spin this narrative, oh, well, they should have never had Wayne perform in the first place. I don't know what Jay-Z was thinking. But y'all was the same people saying that, oh, Wayne should have been the headliner. So it's like, what do y'all want?
Exactly, bro.
So in my opinion, I just kind of feel like Kendrick, it's, you know, well-earned, well-deserved, taking away from the beef and everything. This was inevitable in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean,
he already performed in 2022. So you got people who say, oh, well, he only got this just because of that. You remember 22? You know, the Super Bowl show that won the Emmy? He was in that.
Exactly.
And I didn't hear anybody complaining then that 50 Cent and Mary J. Blige and Eminem were in it, and they're 100% not from no L.A.
Both being from Detroit and New York, respectively.
Exactly. So
is Mary J. Blige from New York?
I have no idea, to be honest with you, but
either way, she ain't from Cali.
Because that show was, in my opinion, there was a celebration of LA culture for sure. But honestly, that was more, in my opinion, to do with the fact that was Dr. Dre having curated all those artists' careers, and so it just made sense for him to get certain people, you know, that were not necessarily from the city there. But I just think overall Kendrick is going to do a great job. Kendrick is going to represent hip hop. He even said in the press release, he said, hip hop is still the most impactful genre, and I'm here to remind people of that. They got the right one. Right. And when Kendrick start talking like that, you already know what's coming. So I look forward to seeing him do what he does best. I look forward to him performing a bunch of songs that people act like they forgot. People act like they forgot Humble and DNA exist, and Mad City at that.
And All Right.
Yeah,
and These Walls. And Wesley's Theory. And King Kunta.
But those aren't even some of his bigger songs. I'm talking about like his biggest hits, like his
All Right.
Family Matters, matter of fact, or Family Ties.
I want to see Family Ties.
If you bring Keem out, man,
yeah, that's gonna be crazy.
You already know. But I'm looking forward to seeing this. I think this is gonna be a moment for hip hop. I think that this is gonna be just a good look just for rap as a whole. And I'm just excited to see it. I want Wayne to come out. I hope he does.
Me too.
Really do.
I really do too.
Wayne do deserve that. I do feel like Wayne deserves that, his moment for sure.
Most definitely. And by the way, Mary J. Blige is from the Bronx, so I just figured I just had to know.
Yeah, I feel you.
But no, I 100% agree, man. Like I think it's going to be a great halftime show. It has the potential to be just from Kendrick's name alone. But like you said, like we said, I hope Lil Wayne gets added to it in some capacity because it ain't like they beefing.
Yeah, you never know because after Kendrick drug his protege through the mud all year, who knows how Wayne feel about it now.
But this is a video for another day. But who do you think will win in a rap battle, Kendrick or Wayne?
Are we talking about like pure hits, or are we talking about like disses?
Both.
Hits, probably Wayne, if I'm being real.
Okay.
If I'm being 100% real, like hit for a hit, like song for song, verse for verse. We're talking about like just hits, like just getting people lit and turned. Wayne for sure. Okay. Wayne has to have that.
Okay.
Especially because Wayne got hits from 20 years ago when he
that people still bump to this day.
Go DJ, Fireman, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Lollipop, a Millie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
But as far as like a rap battle though, like just
that's
bars
a
and
little
everything.
Bit more even, to be honest with you. That would be a more even matchup than him versus Drake, in my opinion. But I really don't know.
I see what you mean, but we can definitely talk about it.
For sure, we could definitely.
Yeah, if y'all want to see another artist 1v1, please hit us up.
For sure.
But like I said, I hope they aren't beefing, to be honest.
You know, time will only tell.
Yeah, man, but shoot, that's all I got to say on the matter.
That's honestly all I really have to say. You know, salute Kendrick, salute Wayne.
Exactly.
Salute hip hop.
Both GOATs in their own right.
Yeah, because I think that this is just, either way you look at it, this is just a good win for hip hop.
Oh yeah,
especially because hip hop has kind of been in a down season since really
and all these
2022,
and all these other trash rappers showing up.
Yeah, that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. But yeah, no. Like I said, this is a win for hip hop in my opinion. So I'm excited to see what Kendrick is going to do, and that's pretty much all I have to say.
Yes, sir. Well, in that regard, I've been Jay.
This has been Rodney.
We're LATD, y'all. Remember, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and look at the details. Peace.